the Spice Girls. Scary Spice, Sporty Spice, Baby Spice, Ginger Spice, Posh Spice.
Oh, you'd be Posh Spice.
No, I'd be Scary Spice.
You'd be Scary Spice?
Apparently.
Is she scary?
I don't know. I can't. They all look the same. I don't know which one is Scary Spice.
Why are they different spices like that? I thought it'd be like Happy Spice. And
Well, you have like ginger, like cinnamon spice. I don't know.
Scary Spice.
Pepper Spice.
Is that like jalapeno spice?
Is she
The
like
mystery
Sharon
spice.
Needles? It's my favorite drag queen.
Did you know that they're English?
Ooh.
I knew as of 5 seconds ago when I saw the top of the Wikipedia article.
I think Jameson would be Baby Spice.
Ooh, you gotta love that. I have no idea.
Yeah, you're
Sorry,
way
still on
scarier.
Scary
First topic. So, the Electronic Entertainment Expo is right around the corner, and we're excited to see everything that might come out of it. The most exciting being the big games like Super Smash Bros., Pokemon for the Switch, or expansions for games that we are currently playing. Things like Destiny 2 or Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
But we'd like to discuss a trend that has been happening lately in the gaming world. That is the fact that old classics are being remade or remastered for current consoles. Now, we've got a chance to discuss what kind of games we want to see done in any of these formats. So basically, we'll be thinking back on our childhood, any games that we've played, and think about what would be a good game to get a remaster or a remake, and what style would you want it. You can change genres. You can make a Metroid MMO if you wanted to, or
Rad. Are you kidding me?
we'll just go through and think of that. Maybe give you guys some time. I was thinking, if you went back, and I know that they've done multiple Final Fantasy crossover games where they've mixed all the characters, things like Dissidia, things like that. But I think if they added a mode to Dissidia, or they went back and remade, like, it would be awesome just to see a remake of all of the games. Final Fantasy 1. I mean, I know there's purists out there that just want to see their old classic games just brought forward and they can play it fresh. But for the new generation that are sitting here like, oh man, Final Fantasy 15 was awesome. It's like, but why is it 15? You know? Maybe you can go back and slowly remake the franchise, you know, just, you don't have to do it the style of the Final Fantasy VII that's been in purgatory for so long now. Mm-hmm. But if you took it and did another combination game, and you can make maybe a story mode out of it where you play as each character doing something, learn a bit about them. But I'd love to see kind of the Battle Royale verse of it, where you get dropped as a certain character. You select one of maybe 5 characters from each game, and drop down to this world and just try to survive until the end. And
Dude.
the best Final Fantasy.
Well, basically
character
any
survives.
game could be great as a battle royale. Just take PUBG and put all your favorite character skins on everybody.
Yes, but this would be like people with guns and magic.
Yeah.
Or swords, gun swords, magic. You know,
Swords
all
and
those
gun
things.
swords.
Swords and gun swords. There's no just guns unless you're just a regular soldier.
Don't be silly.
Sorry.
Or you could have a gun arm. That's a thing.
A whole arm as a gun?
Yeah, a whole arm
Sure.
as a gun.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Oh, in the game, yeah.
And make it VR. There you go. You can be it.
Try taking that onto the plane.
Sorry, sir, you gotta pack that up.
Oh.
Oh, man. Is that an entire arm cannon, sir?
How am I going to play my Game Boy Advance with just one hand?
I promise it's not loaded.
I love it.
I don't know why Game Boy Advance.
Get my Game Boy
Game
Advance.
Boy
Come on,
Advance.
Lauren.
Get
Get
old
with the
school.
times.
He has a gun for an arm, but the only advanced console he has is a Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought was Sly Cooper, the original one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, Sly Cooper. It was one of my favorite games. And wouldn't it be awesome to bring it to a modern console and I think expand it? Like the original one was Thievius Raccoonus.
Mm-hmm.
You learn all about like Sly Cooper's history, his like family history of all the you know, the other thieves and stuff that have been in his family. And there's some really cool ones. You get, like, pages with, like, the Egyptian guy, and you get his little skill, and this guy. I think it'd be interesting if you went, like, Assassin's Creed style, and you, like, became those, you know, those ancestors for a minute. You got to jump around in, like, the Egyptian pyramids as a Sly Cooper person. Be really cool.
That would be awesome.
And it might be fun for VR, too, I thought.
Yeah.
If you got Sly Cooper as a VR game, you're, like, jumping around.
You've got
you
your
are
little
Sly,
hook.
yeah, you've got your hook. You get to, like, hook.
Oh, yeah.
Slide
really
around
cool.
on things. That would
Do
be
it.
a very cool VR experience.
Right? I think it'd be pretty cool.
Switch between him and the turtle and the
Yeah.
different skills and things. Turtle sitting there in a chair and you just
Yeah.
roll it around.
You have a mini game as the hippo, like driving the runaway van. Getaway
Oh, yeah,
van,
yeah,
not
yeah.
runaway. Getaway. You know, that was a really frustrating mini game, by the way. Maybe it would be funner in VR.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I feel like
I had to do it so many times. Do you remember that?
A little bit.
You're the hippo in the van.
I was in and out when you were playing that game. But I've always wanted to play it. So maybe they should just remake it.
I-
And
I
I'll
need-
play it.
With the last Sly Cooper game that came out was back in 2013.
Yeah, yeah. And
was
wasn't it for
a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. Was it for the PSP? Or
I think it was still for PS3.
PS3? Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad.
In 2013?
Wasn't that the time traveling one? The kind of the soft reboot.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I would love to see Sly Cooper come back.
Sly Cooper.
I mean, even if they did it in a Ratchet and Clank style, they brought it back like they did Ratchet and Clank and just did.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another take on the first game, kind of a thing. That would
Right.
Be, that'd
We're
be
not
really
going to talk
cool.
about Banjo and Kazooie. That never happened.
Yeah, that is not canon apparently now, and they're hopefully working.
Oh,
on
it's
a new-
not?
Oh,
yeah,
really?
It's not considered canon.
Thank
it's out
goodness.
Of the universe, so, yeah, there are rumors that Banjo Kazooie might show up in the next Smash Brothers.
Can we start theorizing about Smash Brothers now?
Wait, I have a game that I want
All right,
remade.
all right.
I was thinking about Earthbound.
Mhm.
And mainly just because I think that game needs more love.
It never
Yeah.
The
got
whole franchise just
Yeah.
needs more love.
it never got the TLC that it needed in the West.
It really didn't, and it's one of my favorite games. So I don't know if I would necessarily want it to be like remade. I think it would be cool in like a Link to the Past kind of a style,
Yeah.
or like a Pokemon sort of thing. But because it does play a little bit like Pokemon, but really weird, like on a trip. Pokemon on a trip.
Pokemon on a trip.
But and also just getting Mother 3 to America too, which
Wasn't that coming to America at some point for the Switch?
there were rumors,
I don't know if it was ever confirmed.
but
Was
there's
it?
like
Or
a lot
wasn't
of
it on the NES Classic or the Super NES Classic?
no,
No,
Mother
wasn't
3
it?
has
It was
never,
never
had an
released.
official
Aw.
English release.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It is sad.
Kind of like the Secret of Mana sequels. They had to get
Yeah.
fan-made
Yeah.
mods. To
There,
get the
yeah,
English
yeah.
stuff.
That's like,
Yeah.
I played some of Mother 3 with some patches that were made by fans. Probably not super legal.
Well, would you want it to stay turn-based?
Yeah, just because I feel like that's such a big part of the game and how
Okay.
it plays. I mean, it would be cool if it was more like Zelda, I guess, where
Yeah.
you're like just pew pew pew. But
Well, imagine Earthbound with like top-down graphics like Link to the Past.
yeah,
And like everybody's walking around and then you can just like magic people.
Now, would you rather it 2D graphics like Link to the Past or Link Between Worlds?
see,
where it's
that's the thing
pop
that
out 3D?
I'm
I
sorry,
was-
I meant Link Between Worlds.
Link-
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No.
I was like trying to decide if I would want it to be like remastered in today's graphics, but I can't decide if I want that or not because it's such a classic.
I would imagine it would end up just looking like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, probably. Or something similar. I
Something
don't know.
similar
That's
to
really
that.
weird. People who haven't played Earthbound just don't understand how weird it is. It's so strange and so good and amazing.
Right.
Well, it was sort of like a spiritual successor was Undertale.
Yeah.
Right? Sorta.
Kinda, it takes a lot of like
Oh yeah,
ideas
there's a ton
and
of and
aesthetic
for sure.
from Earthbound.
Yeah, that's true.
it's
I guess
not.
fans kind of carry it on, but
Yeah.
then those things become big and become their own franchise, and they're disavowed from whatever they say it was. So.
That's true.
Definitely, Earthbound has its own little group of really dedicated fans, but I don't think there's enough of them.
Can you just imagine that being like a 3D platformer puzzle solver? Where you have like the yo-yo and you have to like hook it onto things like triggers and stuff to pull.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun.
But I mean, that'd be really fun, but it's not, how the original Earthbound was.
Mm-hmm.
Or even Mother 3 isn't really like puzzle based.
Yeah.
It's all just about the weird characters and strange monsters and I don't know, adventuring.
You know what kind of weirdly just hit me? Like, the aesthetic of Earthbound, I don't know if it would mesh well, but I feel like it would. Have you ever played Destroy All Humans?
Yes.
Yeah.
If we did a crossover between Earthbound and Destroy All Humans.
I'm trying. Okay, what do you mean? Because I'm having
Please
a hard time imagining
elaborate.
it.
So like, imagine, so, you know how there's, like, spaceships and stuff in Earthbound that show up every now and then, or you got the little hints at it, or, the different things like that. What if one of those was the alien from Destroy All Humans? And it comes down, and, like, you play either side. You play as this Destroy All Humans alien, and you're trying to wreck their town and whatnot. Or you play as them, and you're trying to fight him off, and he's, like, throwing cows at you.
I'm usually all about weird mashups like that, but like this is too far for me. They're too different. Earthbound is like sweet and sincere and like it's so weird, but they're just like trying so hard, and then you've got Destroy All Humans,
which is a cartoony, hilarious, violent, but yet funnish game.
I'm speechless.
I'm still having a really hard time even imagining what you're describing.
It'd be rough, and fans would have a hard time accepting it, but I think there'd be a market.
They will accept it!
They will accept it.
You know what, Jameson? You just go ahead and do that.
If we make it, they will love it. So.
Follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams, Jameson.
I will.
You'll follow them alone, but we'll watch.
And we won't necessarily cheer or
No.
anything. We'll just
watch.
Be curious about where it's going.
Yeah.
What's in his mind?
What is this?